What's up, guys? It's Clancy. Just got home from work, and today we actually had a talent coach in who we get an hour meeting with him each, and we kind of sat down and heard how much we all suck. Obviously, I'm kidding, but obviously he did give feedback, and that's one thing. If you want to get into this industry, if you want to be on TV or on camera in any type of way, you have to be able to handle criticism, because you're just not going to grow if you can't handle it. First of all, like, you're just going to break. Like, you're just not going to even be able to survive it. But if you don't want to take it, well, then good luck getting good. You know what I mean? And that's one thing, like, literally from day one, I always said I vowed to myself, I will take criticism and learn from it and take it in stride and never ever get like bitter about it, because you have to understand, you might be like, oh, of course you won't, but it's human instinct. When someone criticizes you, you want to defend it. It's literally human instinct. Sometimes I can hear people tell me things and like it's my instinct to be like, no, but this is why I did it. But I always, there's something I can say, take a breath first and say, oh, okay, I see what they're talking about. And that's one of the biggest pieces of advice. And if you guys want to know what the biggest things he told me, I have no problem sharing them. So basically what happened was I showed him about like 5 of my live shots in one package, like a news package, a story. And the live shots I showed him were like just average everyday live shots. I didn't show him my very best. I didn't show him like my worst. Like, it was just like one breaking news scene, and then just one from each category. My biggest thing, which you could probably tell from just watching this video, and it hasn't even been 2 minutes, I need to shut up a little bit. But really, I need to slow down. I go too fast, and sometimes you think like you have all this information, and A, you want to fit it all in, and B, you think like basically you don't get a reward for how fast you can go. I remember back in college when I would do like a little bit of anchoring, like for like, you know, my college TV station, I would think just go as fast as you can without messing up. Like, that's the goal. I literally thought that was the goal. What? Also, getting comfortable with just having dead air and pauses. One thing that I struggle with is like I never ever want there to be dead air. I need to be filling every single second. So it ends up me like cutting to this and then like jumping like crazy. But actually before though, I was just looking in the mirror and I was thinking, you know what's weird? Like, you guys have only ever seen me on YouTube. Most of you guys. I've met some of you guys in person, but most of you guys have only ever seen me on YouTube. The people who watch our newscasts only see us on TV, and that's the same with me. Like, I've only ever seen Megyn Kelly on TV. I've only ever seen Lester Holt, David Muir, all on TV, never seen them in person. And I'm sure a lot of you guys wonder, and a lot of you guys do wonder, you actually asked me this, does the camera really make you gain 10 pounds or 15 pounds, however much it is? Does the camera really make you gain weight? And also goes along with that, do I look different on camera? Like, do I look the same? And so let me answer that. Thought that's interesting. Well, first of all, it's hard for me to give an objective opinion on myself because it just is. I'm myself. Like, it's weird. Sometimes, like, I look in the mirror. I have a mirror right here. It's so weird. Like, we can't look at ourselves objectively because, like, I'm me. Like, yeah, I can tell my hair is a little bit messed up and but I can't like literally look at myself objectively. It's a weird thought when you actually sit down and think about it. So I have to look at other people in order to like know these things. In some angles, yes, the camera actually will make it look like you are bigger than you are. Plus, a huge thing, like, and I'm just thinking about this based on other people I know, where I'm like, wow, they look a lot smaller in real life. Weird angles, and plus just the fact that like you're a human taking up a screen. So like on YouTube, I'll tell you right now, on YouTube, no, I don't think the camera makes me gain weight or add weight, whatever it is at all. Like, I literally, like, personally, I don't know, think this is just literally like how I look. Like, I don't ever have like a thing where I'm editing a YouTube video and saying like, oh my gosh, I look a lot different than in real life. I'm like, nope, this is what I look like. But on TV, there's something about it. First of all, different cameras, but also I think it's just like a human taking up the full screen, especially like at the anchor desk. I do think people tend to look bigger than they are. I have heard people saying like different newscasters look a lot tinier than they thought. Even Kelly Ripa, who's like the tiniest person ever, I heard she's even tinier in real life. From different angles, yes. Even on camera, do I think I look better on camera or worse? Do I think it makes me look better or worse? And ultimately, in general, I personally think it makes me look worse, especially as a reporter. I don't want to say especially as a reporter because some of the lighting in our studio is like, but what happens with a reporter is like you arrive on a scene and like lighting in filming and all of this is everything, right? So it's not even so much the camera, it's the lighting to make someone look good. I can look amazing on an iPhone and terrible on an HD camera like that costs thousands of dollars because of lighting. So if I arrive at a crime scene and the sun isn't in my favor and I'm like backlit and looking all weird, I can't be like, we're like literally like at a crime scene where like shooting just happened. I can't be like, oh, you know what? Actually, can we just move the crime scene here so that I can be here so that my face can be like facing the sun? No, no. So that's the problem with like, I think my thing is like lighting is never in my favor. But in the studio, some of the lights in the studio, guys, like it is just not pleasant. Others are fine. Some of them just suck. So I guess that goes to show it varies per like news station. Also, it completely depends on what you wear. I feel like pants can sometimes make someone look a little bit bigger and dresses make them look more slim. Like this dress, it's so like to my body. I mean, I say that as this is hanging down, but like it's pretty much to my body. I think pants like add bulk. Mind you, I always wear 2 pairs. I always have leggings on underneath. But so I think pants add bulk with like a top, depending on what top, you know what I mean? So it does depend. It's very dependent on the 2 main elements of lighting and angles. Lighting and angles. And on my YouTube videos, it's easy to get the lighting and angles lined up perfectly because it's me. I just put this flat on a surface, flat in front of me. I do know a lot of people, if you do want to look thinner, you actually would tilt it down, but I just, whatever. Ain't nobody got time for that. And then also lighting. I just set this up in front of this big window I have and hope for the best. But obviously when I'm filming or taping, whatever, for TV, that's just not possible. And plus I'm not gonna be like to my cameraman, excuse me, like can you make sure I look good? Which actually, it's so funny. Both my photographers that I would have are men, and sometimes, you know, sometimes they are looking out for me. They do. But sometimes, especially with Kyle, I will have my hair like flipped over this way during a whole thing, get back into the news van, look in the mirror, and just be like, are you kidding me? Sometimes I get back to the station and it's not so long clipping my segment, about to put on my Facebook or something, and then I'm like, are you kidding me? So yeah, another pro tip, get a photographer who's a female. No, I'm kidding. So I thought that was an interesting thing though, because I always wonder that even like celebrities. I'm like, wait a minute, does she look this good because she's on TV? Or am I gonna see her in real life and say, oh my gosh, you look even better? So yeah, that's interesting. Oh, another thing that makes me say that though, that I personally feel like people look better in real life than on camera, is that one time I was walking by myself, like I was actually covering a story with my like tripod and everything, and I was walking down the street because I had to get footage of a house, and then this guy pulls up in this pickup truck next to me and he goes, Clancy Burke, and I literally was like startled, obviously, because you're just chilling on the street and you hear your name, it's like, what? And I look up really quickly, and then I forget what he said. He said something like, the camera does not do you justice, or something like that, that basically implied that I look worse on camera, which I've heard people say before, like, oh my gosh, someone told me, this is like a common thing, someone told me I look better in person, or I look skinnier in person, and complaining. And at the time I was kind of thinking like, okay, well they're saying you look good in person, like why are you so mad? But no, when the guy said it, I knew exactly what they meant, because keep in mind, like in my head, I just spent all morning on TV. I mean, obviously I wasn't on TV the whole time, but I had 8 hits throughout the morning, put my all into it and everything, and someone was coming up to me basically saying, you don't look as good on TV. And it's like, thank you. I try so hard. Thank you. And so like that's what it is. Not complaining, like seriously, not even trying to complain, but you know what? Also, on Twitter, I thought it was interesting. So I was tweeting about, my story today was all about credit card skimmers, which at the gas pump at gas stations, they actually put these skimmers in there to steal your debit card information or credit card, but debit card's worse because you can't, like, it just goes right out of your account, like it's literally like stealing cash from your pocket. And I did segments throughout the morning on tips for credit card skimmers. Thought I would include it in this video because I feel like these are useful no matter where you live. Someone actually tweeted me, if you're not following me on Twitter, good old Twitter and Instagram, I've been on there a lot lately. Someone tweeted me asking if I could put it up because she wanted to know where she lives. So quick shout out to Danielle, and I'm gonna put that right now because I think it's useful.
Elise, I don't think I've ever met someone who says, I love filling up my car at the gas station. I mean, most people come, they pull right up, they're in a hurry, they're in a rush, they don't want to be here. Really, the goal of the whole thing is to be in and out and carry on with your day. But the problem with that mentality is that you miss some obvious signs, some clues that there is indeed a skimmer inside that ATM. One of the first things we want to talk about is you want to look at the aesthetic. I know that sounds kind of weird, looking at the aesthetic of an ATM at a gas station, but It's an obvious clue, because if this, say, is red and maybe that's bright green, well, guess what? It's not how it's supposed to be. This is not how the machine was made, and that means someone has probably tampered with this. Another huge thing, as you're maybe swiping your card, as you're putting it in, you might notice, oh, this is a little bit loose, or maybe these keys are a little bit wiggly. Maybe they're coming off. That's a huge sign as well, because these things are made to be very sturdy. That means someone has been here and someone has tampered with it. Also, if you notice adhesive on any of these corners or crevices, another huge thing to look out for. And then I can't say it enough, always be sure to be kind of covering the keys as you're typing in your PIN, even if you're at the bank, because if someone has your PIN and then they have your card number, that's all they need to get into your account and take all of your hard-earned, you earned that money. No one should be taking it. Take all of your hard-earned cash. Coming up in an hour, we'll have a lot more tips and tricks, but for now, live in Miamisburg, Clancy Burke, Fox 45 News. As you're swiping your card at the gas station, the last thing on your mind is credit card fraud or scams, but it really should be, because in the last year alone, 45 skimmers have been found at Ohio's pumps, 4 of which were in Montgomery County and 1 in Greene County. So it definitely is a growing problem, and that's why you really should be alert to this. I'm going to give you a couple of tips, starting with the first one. Take your phone out as you get to an ATM, which, let's face it, probably glued to your hands already, and snap a photo of the machine. Then go ahead and go to one of the machines nearby, either right across from you or next to you, pull out the picture, and then compare it to this machine in front of you. You want to make sure these machines are identical. So if this is pink or maybe this is blue, and in this photo it's not, well, guess what? That is a red flag. That's a sign that someone has been tampering with this. Another thing is you want to make sure all of the graphics are aligned. You just make sure everything kind of looks as you think it would. That's one of the biggest things they say. You should definitely trust your gut. Also, it's a good idea to go to a gas station, not just for the low prices, although we do love those, of course, but also one that has a lot of people at it. Because keep in mind, in order to get these skimmers in the machines, these criminals have to go to them. So they don't want a lot of people around. That's a huge thing. And then also, keep in mind, money, cash. You can always just use cash and pay inside, and that is honestly your safest bet. For now, live in Miamisburg, Clancy Burke, Fox 45 News.
But yes, I just wanted to come on here though and chat with you guys a bit about those two things. If you have any other questions kind of just about, I don't know, anything, like little things like that you might not have even known the answer to, unless you had an expert like myself. I'm just kidding. I'm obviously not an expert. But yeah, definitely let me know in a comment down below, because I just love filming what you guys want to see. So I'm going to go. Hope you guys have a fabulous day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.